Okay, so it's time to talk about death. Yeah. I was watching this anime called Rurouni Kenshin, and something came to mind, right? So I was trying to figure out. It's a good anime, by the way, right? I just say it's an okay anime, right? Like it could have been better. Hence this episode that I'm doing right now, because it kind of inspired this episode right now. Yeah, I think it's time to talk about death, especially in animes, and how some animes kind of they try their best to go around it. I'll explain why, right? So in this anime, right, Rurouni Kenshin happens during the 18th, maybe 19th century, something like that. So this guy, samurai guy, who has a crazy past of just like manslaughter, right, just slashing, people left and right. And so now he kind of goes into this like redemption arc where he's trying to do good. Yeah, so him trying to do good, he can't be doing what he used to do, right? Like my man can't be slashing people again, right? Like, so he's trying to chill out and, he's actually even using a different type of katana, right? So in the anime. So I like the premise. I'm like, oh, cool, let me see this. And I wanted to see something specific, right? Especially when I read the plot. I wanted to see how the writers were going to actually deal with, if they were actually going to address certain things as far as like, okay, what if, his back is against the wall? Like, what does he do at that point, right? And I kind of wanted to explore that. I wanted to watch what was going to happen. And what I thought happened. They were dodging that topic like crazy, right? So they made him I'm talking talk no jutsu. I'm talking my guy's like a visionary where it's just like, no, I think this guy, there was this scene where it's like one of the villain, right, was like pure evil dude who killed a bunch of people. But when it came to the main guy, now when they were fighting, somehow, the main character was like, yo, I think humanity is still somewhere in there and then he can. And at that point, I was like, look, I'm off this show, bro. I can't be watching this, man. Like, I understand the plot, and I understand that, the whole point is for him to not actually kill anybody again, right? But the way they went about it was nasty. I think it was nasty, right? It was the storyline is good, right? It's good enough. It's really, but the way they went about it, for instance, right? I'll give you an example. In Naruto, when Guy, right, during the war arc, when Guy opened the 8th gate, he made such a big deal about opening the 8th gate, right? Since they were kids. It was a huge thing, right? And when Guy Sensei went against Madara, almost killing him, right? And him opening the 8th gate, dying, and then Naruto just coming through and reviving him, you ruined it, right? Like, you kind of ruined it. We obviously didn't want the guy to die, but we understood the stakes, right? It made the whole thing even more relatable. You get what I'm saying? Like, their back was against the wall. Like, his back was against the wall. He had to do it. He had to do it. He felt like he needed to do that. We all related to that. Sometimes in life, your back is against the wall and you have to do certain things. Sometimes like, I don't want to do that, but I'm just gonna have to, right? Like at that point. So when animes, kind of go through, these moments where they especially with certain protagonists like Naruto, or like where it's like, oh, I'll make sure I'll do everything that I can not to, to kill this guy. Meanwhile, this guy is trying to kill everybody that I know, or has killed everybody that I know, but I gotta find empathy, Now we just starting, like, now it's just like wishy-washy things. Like, it's nah, those type of stories, we're not buying them anymore. Like, when the stakes are high, actually make them high. Like, do stakes high decisions, right? If that makes sense. Right? So, for instance, right, I'll give you some death in animes that actually were really like impactful. We're looking at Kite, right, from Hunter x Hunter. My man got chopped, right? Like, he got chopped by that cat lady. Like, he was gun mentor, right? And he got chopped, bro. Like, that was like Mortal Kombat type of chop, like fatality kind of chop, right? It was crazy. But my point is that it was impactful, right? His death was impactful. It was impactful. Did you want it to happen? No, but you understood. As a fan, you watching it, you understood. Have Rengoku from Demon Slayer, death, impactful, right? Like, you didn't think that he was gonna die. At the same time, you didn't want him to die. But so you don't want him. The thing is just like, that's the thing, right? We don't want it to happen. But when it happens, in retrospect, you look at it and you're like, oh, I see why it happened, right? Like, you don't even think about I see why it happened. You just in awe of the story because it was so well written. if it's going to happen, make it make sense. You know, don't just like make people just die left and right and then we know, like, you know, make it make sense. But still, like, you want a good story around it. L from Death Note, his death was, I didn't think he was gonna die, and he did. Like, and he made the whole story even better. Neji was not doing too much, you know, Naruto Shippuden. Like, so him dying, like, I'm not gonna lie, Neji, it was sad for what we knew Neji for. But when I think about it now, it's just like he wasn't really doing much in Naruto Shippuden. It just became like a side character. So that was, you know, that one, because you see, and that's the thing, that's my issue with Naruto Shippuden is like them reviving Guy. Neji was a side character at that point, so him dying, it was impactful, but it wasn't as it wasn't that much impactful. Guy Sensei dying would have been way more impactful, but one of the ones that really like touched me was whoa. One of the ones that was really impactful was Jiraiya's death. You know, like Jiraiya was man, bro. Like to this day, sometimes I'll just rewatch those episodes in arc, you know, like everything that led to it. Man, like how he died, the message he left behind, you know, for Naruto to figure out, you know, how to fight pain, understanding that there's actually 6 paths of pain. Like that was, and then him just dying. He died, man. He died like a dog. You get what I'm saying? That was you know, he died fighting. You know, that was beautiful. You know, it was poetic. You know, in some way it was poetic. You get Asuma Sensei, you know? I know I'm only talking about Naruto, but those are the quick ones that are just coming up to my mind right now. Like, Asuma Sensei, you know, death was... It was so good. I know it's really crazy to say someone's death was good, but the way it played it was poetic, you know, and then Shikamaru, like, coming back and then getting his revenge. It was so good, man, you know? Ace, dude, I never thought Ace... I was watching the Marineford arc. Who thought that Ace was actually going to... Well, if you didn't read the manga, but if you were just watching the anime, gonna die. You were like, nah, there's no way Ace is dying, bro. Like, it was a shocker, man. That was a real tear jerker, you know, not just for Luffy, right? Like, because Luffy was froze, bro. Luffy froze, like, but we froze with Luffy. Like, we froze with him, right? Like, we were just like, yo, what the hell? What? Ace died? Like, there's no way, dog. I had to rewatch the episode. I'm trying to... Yeah, man, like, he died. Like, that was crazy. You know, like, I thought there was going to be that. I didn't think he was going to die, but he did. And it really brought the show somehow together. It made it more relatable. And that's the thing we know with death. It's going to happen. It's going to happen to me. It's going to happen to you. It's going to happen to her and him. Fuck, like, it's going to happen to all of us, right? So that makes it more relatable. Take that away from an anime, you ruin the experience. Like, we watching it, but you ruining it. You are ruining the whole thing, you know? And it's crazy to say that. Damn it. Like, it is crazy to say that, but it's true. It's true, you know? Even not just in animes, right? In any type of like movies, or like when the main character dies, or a side character or somebody impactful, right? Like who made a mark in the anime actually passes away. It impacts the whole thing, you know? What is it, talk no jutsu? Where you convincing the other guy, hey, you know what, I think your humanity is still somewhere in there, all right? I can save you just from talking to you. Nah, man, do that, bro. F that. We trying to... Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, so, yeah. You know, we need to see more death. That sounded crazy. Okay. But yeah, you know, that's basically my point, you know, and one of the saddest ones, you know, that, I just thought about one right now. Erwin Smith from Attack on Titans. Oh my gosh. Erwin's death was so good. And so the storyline was like how he died, what happened before, during, and after. It could have been revived, but no, it was, dude. Aaron's death might be the saddest death in animes. I don't know. Like, I haven't tried to like rank them. But if I were, maybe that's like top 1, maybe top 2, top 3, maybe. Ace 1 is right up there too. Jiraiya's definitely there. I think that's like top 3, maybe. Y'all let me know which one is like top 1 for y'all, top 2, top 3. But Jiraiya's, Ace, and Erwin, woo, those 3 are, woo. I just thinking about it, like, yo, you know, but yeah. Yeah, the writers gotta stop doing that. Like, you guys are cheating the whole thing. Like, you having the fans from, that emotion. You're depriving the fans from that emotion. So, we don't want to see it to happen, especially when you start to really like a character. But it has to happen sometimes, and yeah, man, that's just what I had to